SS and make a ZL1?
You mentioned it, coming from an SS. The SS actually makes 200 counts of lift, and that's air that comes in through the grill and just kind of hangs around over the front axle and creates lift, slows you down. It helps with fuel economy, but I always say that on the top 10 reasons people buy a Camaro, fuel economy is number 23. So we weren't concerned about having the best fuel economy on this car at the expense of performance.
I gotta tell you, it is awesome to have the car, the guy who built it, and an open track. Oh, I know. It doesn't get much better than that. How long have you had development responsibility for it?
Since the very conception of the car. I was in the room when Lutz and Welburn, we were trying to decide on what the concept was going to be for the 2006 Detroit Auto Show. And within the last 10 minutes of the meeting, when it was about to break up and we didn't know what we were going to do, Ed Welburn said, hey, if I can only do one stellar car for the auto show, I think it's time to bring the Camaro back. And I got goosebumps because I've always been a Camaro nut. My first car was a Camaro, and I have a 68 convertible. It's in the garage right now in Michigan. I did the complete ground up myself.
With your own two hands?
My own two hands. So I was working on the development of this one during the day, and I go home and work on that one at night. And about 3 in the morning, my wife would throw a shoe at me under the car and say, come on, you got to go to work in 2 hours. So I've truly been blessed with this job, and dream come true. I don't take it for granted, and it's just, I hope it reflects itself in the car. We felt that, you know, if we're going to stand behind this being a true track-capable race car, it's got to perform. So much so that we want it to be a race car that we're actually warranting the car for track day. You take this car out after a proper burnish, proper break-in period, and you have a warranty claim on it, we're covering it.
So if I go on a track day and I blow up the motor, you're going to replace it?
Yeah, call me, yeah. I didn't mean to overlook it, but probably the key thing is you need a 6.2 liter supercharged engine to make 580 horsepower. Absolutely. Well, you know, it's funny, I didn't jump right to that because the ZL1 is so much more than just adding horsepower and a blower under the hood. It's about giving the customer a race car. We have the 6-piston Brembo brakes because you need the extra braking power at the track. We've redesigned the stabilizer bar system. We've increased the length of it, added the drop links, front and rear, larger bar. But interesting enough, with the large rear diff we've got, we have a diff cooler. We use pre-cooled transmission fluid, and it cools the diff 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Its operating temperature is just as if you're on a nice country drive. The traction control system, just to give you an idea how fast we're processing information with our PTM, if you're going 60 miles an hour, the car is processing information every inch.
I thought it was just a supercharged motor and fancier wheels, but it sounds like you put a lot of development money into this.
Well, hopefully I still have a job when I get back to Detroit, but we wanted to have no compromises. Everybody that works in this program has a racing passion, even the designers, and we all fought hard to not compromise anything because of finance folks or anybody that's counting the money. Like I said, it makes for some interesting arguments and discussions and opportunities, as we call them, but it all shows in the car. And when we show our leadership what we ended up with, hands down, they all support what we did. MotoMan, I want to introduce you to Aaron Link. Aaron's our ride and handling engineer for Camaro.
Oh, so you're the one that's responsible for this beast?
Yes, and what we have for you today is I'll go out, show you the car, show you the track, and then we'll turn you loose on your own.
All right, I can't wait. Let's find the helmets.
All right.
All right, here we go. Rolling out of the pits, gonna get warmed up, get your head warmed up, get the car warmed up, do a little brake tap, make sure you got a nice pedal. Coming up, raging into turn 1. It's a constant radius and then an increasing radius. Now it's a low point of the track, so a lot of the water will come down here like that. I'm just trying to work the rear tire and feed in the grip based on the track conditions. So I'm wide open here now. This is an off-camber left-hander that's the nastiest turn here. I respect that turn greatly. We're gonna set up this decreasing radius tight turn. So I turn in.
Where did you learn how to drive like this?
Mid-Ohio, I grew up an hour from there. Gonna look for my apex, keeping my eyes up, down the hill. Working some power here. Pick up the brakes here. This was slippery on the outlap, so I'm gonna be careful. Yeah, still not feeling the love here. And then that's a lap.
This is a big boys track.
Yeah, patience is a virtue, obviously, and it pays off here.
And you guys did a lot of testing here for this car.
Yep. A lot of blind elements on this track that instill confidence when you have a car like this that can respond. For instance, there's two really high-speed, high-energy braking events, this being one of them, within about 40 seconds of each other. So it's a tough track on brakes. So ideally, we want to treat this thing as hard as we can to know that we've checked the box, that the customer's not going to find something we didn't find.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of use that mantra of, if it's not me, who?
So this is like the home track for the car.
I'd say Milford, our road course in Michigan, is. This would be where we winter.
Where you winter. You sound like a socialite from the Hamptons instead of an engineer. Excuse me, I'm gonna go to Palm Beach this weekend. Take the private jet.
Boca.
Why didn't you get the memo? Boca's for the old people.
Ah, yeah. This wouldn't be the place to take this thing.
Oh no. Well, the right kind of old people, guys who were buying the car new.
It's interesting. A lot of our early VIN numbers on this car, the guys who own the 1969 ZL1s want the same number.
Well, I could believe that. There's a huge value to that at Barrett Jackson.
VIN 30, they want VIN of 30 of each one, which is awesome.
Yeah, they're worth 500, 700 grand, something like that now.
It's a big number, yeah. It's probably the rarest Camaro piece.
I think Reggie Jackson made more money selling those cars than when he did it playing for the Yankees.
Playing outfield, yeah.
And I love the grunt this thing has.
Yeah, the exhaust is my favorite part. If I had to pinpoint one thing of why I would buy this, that really is it.
You know, it feels as if you've hidden some weight here.
This weighs 4,100 pounds.
Is this really 4,100 pounds?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't feel it at all.
That's one of the goals, but it's very hard to make it tangible, you know? Okay, so here's where I suggest you tighten this
one?
There you go. And then do more of a straight shot across.
Copy.
Now turn it. There you go.
Nice.
Big thing we do is try to focus on is harmony of controls. So clutch effort, shift effort, steer effort, do they match? You've got a light clutch and a heavy steering. It's kind of a funky feeling.
Ooh, hey now. That was a little aggressive, and you went right for the handle. They don't pay you enough for this. I got to get in the car with who?
Yeah.
That was awesome, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, MotoMan. Hey, I got some good news and bad news for you.
Let's do the good news.
Good news? Okay. You got a 220. That's great.
First time out.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Now for the bad news. My buddy Aaron here, he got a 205.
205.
Sorry.
What are you feeding your engineers?
Well, I probably should have told you before, but Aaron Link here is our hot shoe driver. He's the guy that got the 741-27 at the Nürburgring.
Al, you sandbagged me.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Hey, wait.